Dylan Harper is a smooth 6'6" point guard who's the son of former NBA champ Ron Harper. Ron was someone who didn't fear MJ and always wanted the task to guard him. But he went from trying to stop MJ on the Cavs to winning rings with him on the Bulls. So as KD would say, if you can't beat him, then join him. And then Ron went on to play with Kobe and Shaq, winning 2 more titles with the Lakers. Ron was the definition of being a star in your role. But before all the injuries, Ron was just a straight-up star. In his rookie year, he averaged 23 points per game. Basketball is in the family. Dylan's older brother, Ron Jr., has spent time in the G League and played at Rutgers, where Dylan would also play at. And Dylan's mom, Maria, was his first coach and coached him up till high school. She's a former D1 player at the University of New Orleans. She's Filipino, which means Dylan is the best Asian draft prospect since...
Yo!
There's a Japanese philosophy called Kaizen. It means good change or continuous improvement. Dylan Harper is a good example of someone who follows this in the game of basketball. Like before the college season, there were concerns about Dylan finishing at the rim. Now he's left no doubt that he's the best guard in this draft going downhill. And his floater game has gotten better throughout the season too. He's better making his floater when he's going straight downhill but not drifting left or right. And he's not afraid of contact. He's really good at drawing fouls, and he's great at finishing around bigs in the paint. Dylan is someone who has really solid ball handling skills. He has a nice hezzy dribble and the ball is always in control with him. It's like the ball is safe in his hands. One of the few criticisms of him attacking is that there's times where he could use his right hand when he attacks right. But he's even shown some improvement there. But what I love is that he doesn't favor one side over another. He's not scared of attacking left or right, so the defense can't force him either way. He'll just take whatever the defense gives him. He may not have the quickest first step, that is a knock on him, but he uses jab steps and spin moves to get to his spots. I'm sure NBA teams considering picking him are going to ask the question, does the lack of burst mean that he'll struggle getting past guys at the next level? I personally don't think so, because he's great at getting guys on his hip, like 2 of his favorite players, Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham. And once he gets a screen, it's extremely tough for guys to stay in front of him. Also, he's great at swiping the defender's arm with his off arm, which makes it tougher for defenders to stick with him. Let's talk about his shooting now. He has a low release when he shoots, and I think NBA teams are going to be concerned about this too. They may contribute it to a reason why he struggled from the mid-range. There could be some truth to that, but at the same time, college basketball is a small sample size, and Dylan's made off-the-dribble three-pointers, which are more difficult, and it even shows shades of James Harden's step-back three. He has a pretty nasty step-back. He can hit the brakes and create space off the dribble. And I'm impressed with the shot selection. I mean, he doesn't take stupid shots. At Rutgers, he wasn't given much of an opportunity to shoot coming off of screens, but I have no doubt that he can. He's one of those few guards who can both run the show and play off ball when needed. Some teams may worry about his inconsistent shooting, but I think you have to put it in context. Look at the difficulty of his shots, and look at the talent around him. With more talent around him in the NBA, I think his shooting numbers are going to go up. With more talent around him, he's also going to excel as a passer. He's a surprisingly good passer with his offhand. There's very few players I've seen pass this well with their offhand. He's able to easily get inside into the paint, collapse the defense, drop off the pass to the big, or kick it out for 3. I've never seen a player do this move. He spins left and immediately spins right before dumping off a pass. He just plays within the rhythm of the game. But to play point guard in today's basketball, you gotta be able to make multiple types of passes in the pick and roll. And back to Kaizen, I feel like this is another area where Dylan was able to improve as the season progressed. Initially against traps and double teams, he would turn the ball over, but it just started to click for him. Eventually, he was able to have the opposing defense commit to him and then he was able to hit the roll man. Or he was able to split the screen instead. And that's where his size helps him. He can see over a lot of defenders. I haven't seen him make that many high-level reads in the pick and roll, but again, that could be because of his situation at Rutgers. The fact is, he's improved, and he's very calculated. That makes me confident that those higher-level reads will become more common. Now, his defense hasn't improved as much as I would like it to. He wasn't the best navigating through screens. Often he'll try to push through the screener instead of going under or over the screen. He's gonna have to get better at this at the next level. When it comes to off-ball screens, he'll wait to do his work. He waits for his man to fully come off the screen before fighting through it. I think he'll learn how to shoot the gap and navigate through screens better. I will say there's a pretty large gap between the defender his dad was and where he is now. But when it comes to switching or on-ball defense, he's way better. He moves his feet well and looks a lot more like his dad. There are shades of his father's game in his game, but I think Dylan's game compares better with 3 other guys: Tyreke Evans, James Harden, and Cade Cunningham. After watching a lot of film on Dylan, it got me thinking, where would I rank him among the top point guard draft prospects in the last 25 years? And these were the names that I came up with. And I was strictly looking at how these guys were viewed as draft prospects when entering into the draft. And I would put Dylan Harper on this list. In fact, I would have him ranked 8th, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And most of these guys have had great careers, with the exception of Markelle Fultz. So Dylan has a pretty strong resume, even though things didn't go according to plan at Rutgers. But really, I can't blame him for that, because besides Ace Bailey, he didn't have the best teammates. An NBA team should feel comfortable giving him the keys to their offense and allowing him to run the show. He's not going to be perfect and he's going to make mistakes, but trust that he's going to learn and improve, because he's shown that he's done that before and he's going to do it again. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about Kaizen. He's constantly improving. If there was one word that I would use to describe his game, it would be smooth, because he's always in control. Defenders can come out of nowhere and he'll find a counter. He's just great at reading and reacting on the fly, and he lets the game come to him. Fit is important for any player entering into the NBA, but I think Dylan's game is going to translate to any team he's on. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Peace.